A spoon has a purpose. Its handle is made for holding, its bowl is made for scooping food. It does its job well. That's what makes it a spoon. But if you drill holes into it, suddenly it's not so useful anymore. Who would want a spoon that can't hold anything? Why even bother with it when a regular spoon works just fine? Does it even have a purpose anymore? Some philosophers say life is all about perspective. I know that sounds like a big leap from talking about silverware, but stay with me. Almost nothing looks the same from two different angles. Now, what if that's the case with a spoon? Maybe we're asking the wrong question. Maybe it's not, does a spoon with holes in it have a purpose, but how can we give it one? What if those holes that made it useless actually turned it into something entirely new? What if those holes created tins, a fork's tins? Maybe we don't need to have what everyone else has. Maybe what you do have is enough. Because after all, a fork has a purpose.
I found out recently that one of my closest friends tried to kick the bucket, if you will. I found out during his grand speech that he tried to end it all. I'm not sure if everyone else in the group got it, but I definitely did. I was sitting in an uncomfortable position and I kept shifting as he told us his story. My legs hurt and I couldn't help but think that I'd rather be anywhere else. Then he told us about the robin, and I realized that I didn't know the entire story after all. He started simply. His life, his family, and his mistakes. I didn't realize it at the time, but he spent a long time talking about that last one. Afterwards, he sent us off, and I stood there, waiting for the space to clear before I rushed over to my friend, who also had tears streaming down her cheeks. We hugged for what felt like forever, but when we finally let go, I looked around the room and realized that nobody else seemed to be struggling as much as we were. I like to think it's because she and I love in a little bit of a different way. But I have to imagine the others are trying to hold back their own tears. Sometimes I have to remind myself that it's okay to cry. That it's perfectly normal and healthy, in fact. I find it hard to imagine that one of the most amazing, inspirational, and happy people ever would try to take their own life. I heard once that God gives his strongest battles to his toughest people. Maybe that's why Sally Jackson had to deal with someone like Gabe. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's okay to talk. It's important to take a break and step back. Sometimes we need to set things down and come back with clearer thoughts.
Rome, my eternal city, my empire without end. How I failed you as emperor. My being captured by the Sasanian Empire's army made a mockery of the Roman Empire. Unconquered Rome. I should have died on the battlefield, not been made a footstool to Shapur, a foreign king. All of Persia surely still celebrates my shame when recounting their empire's war glories. Celebrates my diminution into a human footstool awaiting on hands and knees. Hour after hour, the arrival of their king, so that his majesty may easily mount his horse. But my personal pain, the humiliation of my position, lower than even the slaves, is nothing compared to the pain of my people must have borne. The shame of Rome to know that its emperor had been captured and not executed, but serving as an object under the feet of their rival's leader. An emperor forced to spend the lion's share of his days on all fours like a beast, dirty with dust and horse manure. I suffered the sole shame of a mortal man. Rome suffered the collective shame of an eternal country. But do I despair? I did. Despair in my bones, my creaking spine, every time Shapur tested his weight on my back. Despair every time he called me Footstool. I despaired when I found out that Shapur's own son had taken over the eastern areas I was in charge of keeping secure, using my own treasury as a source of his endless luxury. I despaired when I heard there were now 3 men claiming to be emperor of their own little corners of Rome. 4, if you include that profligate Batavan, who's decreed himself emperor over the entirety of Gaul. Ha! The only legit leader of them is my own son. My son, Galenius. Emperor Galenius. It's been 3 years. He still holds the empire aloft. The glory of Rome continues to burn with him. I know this, for some courtier, or perhaps a soldier paid in spoils, dropped a coin, which in the dust before me I saw glinting. I quickly lowered my head and sucked it to my mouth unseen. Later, lone and shackled in the shed with the goats, I discovered that it was a Roman coin. As his handsome visage struck there the beautiful radial crown, and on it a glorious alphabet written, Galenius Augustus, declaring him Emperor of Rome. It is only silver, yes, but it has healed me. For all the shame I brought to Rome by my capture and captivity is vanquished in the face of my beautiful son. I see his form too, minted on the other side of the coin, holding a spear. He fights for Rome, and knowing that he is successfully leading allows me to cultivate peace in my soul. In my son, I know the seeds of Roman peace will flower and flourish. So watch, Shapur, king of Persia, head of the Sasanian Empire, as this broken ex-emperor of Rome smiles. I smile because every morning I swallow a coin and every evening it comes out again. It is no proper sacrifice to the gods, but it is the best I can do. My own form of devotion, symbolic act of death and rebirth. as all sacrifice is meant to be. I was dead in despair over Rome's shame. And now I am alive in hope for its ongoing glory. I brought such enormous humiliation to my people, but I am renewed by the power of legacy reigning in my own flesh and blood. In the days since I first held the coin fast in my mouth, I am certain that I heard his name whispered. Galenius, Galenius Augustus, Galenius Caesar. I have witnessed wounded soldiers quartered in the barracks nearby. I've sighted buckets of bloody Roman arrowheads dislodged from the flesh of your maimed men. I've seen the hope of Rome bursting forth in the form of flies thick in the air around the dead your carts are forced to carry. So look at me, chauffeur. Look down, King of Persia. Look down at your prisoner of war, your footstool, as you step on him. My son is with me. The wealth of his spirit is in me. So I dare you to look down. Next time you need to mount your horse, look down and recoil at my smile. I smile, for I am happy and whole. For all of Rome is happy and whole.
You know something? I got sand. That's why I came to the beach. I heard they were running low. Speaking of hearing things, I wish I had some tunes. That tribute to transformation, I am changing, would really hit the spot right now, but not the sore spot. But I don't mind listening to the sound of my own voice. I've never really noticed it before, but it's present. Pleasant. Much more mellifluous than something off your greatest hits album, which includes such scintillating singles as Diss You Much, Proud, Merry, and Haste, Repent at Leisure, and the Piece de No Resistance, You Can't Stop the Beat Down. Except I can. I did. I stopped the beatdown. You knew my motto. Batter up, 3 strikes, I'm out. You'll never have the pleasure of seeing me cry anymore, or the pain of seeing me smile. In fact, you won't see me in any kind of way ever again. See, you thought the song went, I'm telling you from the start, I can't be torn apart from my guy. But see, that is unapologetically uninspiring. So on my album, which I'm calling The Very Best of Willona, the song goes, I'm telling you from the start, I can't be torn apart by my guy. I know the first time leaving is the hardest. First is the worst and all that, but once you go black and blue, I never go back. So you might think that this is one of those, if at first you don't succeed, try again initiatives, that they call it escapism because it's nothing but a fantasy. But I know something you don't. I can't take the Y off emergency and put an E there instead. And I've earned a resurgence of emergence. Words to live by. Which is why I'm going to beat the odds first time out. Well, maybe not beat 'em, but overcome. Just sounds so underwhelming. I got guts for days, weeks, months, and beyond. I can't take all the credit for my courage, though. Got to give gratitude to Sophia. From the color purple, not the Golden Girls. Her song, Hell No, about refusing to be cruising for a bruising. is what got me to make tracks in the first place. A person hears something often enough, she starts to believe it. She starts to repeat it out loud. I'd croon, you'd cringe and criticize. I know why the caged bird sings. She's a Maya Angelou loser. Come on now, don't pout. Will, you know I'm only teasing and still I get a rise out of you. And what did I ever get out of you? Nothing but another bouquet of your sorry, not sorry flowers. The kind perfect for playing that time-honored game of he shoves me not. That's right. I'm playing games without you. And guess what? I can identify him. None of that baseless accusation BS. What games was I ever playing with you, huh? Trouble? Aggravation? Pac-Man? Well, since you neglected to specify, I picked my own game to play. Pack your bags and leave that man, where every woman's a winner. Let's tell him what we've won, ladies. He's got no power no more over me. Formerly sung by the Exciters, presently sung by the Exiters. When did I get so infuriatingly inspirational? When I realized I'm the wind beneath my own uncaged wings. When I realized there's a will, there's a way out. When I realized that underneath the coat of war paint I applied to the bruises was a brave face just waiting to be put on. Someday, even when those bruises are gone, but not forgotten, there'll still be souvenirs of survival. And there'll still be a sore spot with me. But now that I'm no longer under your skin, your thumb, or your spell, I can spell that word a little differently. S-O-A-R. Hell yes.
Everyone who has ever lived has, at one time in their life or another, been known for something in particular. Some people are known for their sports abilities. Others are known for their amazing meals they can prepare. Still, others are known for their artistic talents. I could continue with examples for days, but I think you get the picture. People are known and remembered for something super special and memorable. For me, it's always been my hair. Yes, you heard me right, my hair. The weird, fluffy stuff that automatically grows at the top of my head in a specific design and pattern. I don't really know why my hair is anything worth mentioning. It's just hair. Mom tells me that when I was born, I had the thickest, shiniest, most beautiful hair she has ever seen on a baby. She joked that it must have been all the fresh garden vegetables she ate while she was pregnant with me, and that somehow the Miracle-Gro she sprayed on the plants must have found their way into her body and made my hair grow. I don't think that's how it works, Mom. Mom also tells me that people would stop her everywhere she went to make some kind of comment about my hair, and they wanted to touch it, play with it, pet me like a puppy. It's weird to think about people going so crazy about it. My mom probably could have started charging people money for every comment they made, or asking if they could touch it. We would be loaded. As a kid, I would always have the cutest hairstyles. For picture day, my mom would even put some gel in my hair, comb it to the side, make sure it was perfect. And of course, as soon as I got home, she would shampoo all the gel out of it again, so my hair would turn to its natural, soft, shiny status. When I started getting older, I began making my own decisions about my hair. Once I even grew a rat tail, which, thinking about it now, was disgusting and embarrassing. People never stopped talking about how incredible my hair was. That's what I was known for, being the kid with gray hair. When I was 10, something really strange started happening to me. My skin started tingling randomly, like that feeling you get when your foot had been asleep, and then it was waking up again. But I felt it all over, and sometimes instead of tingling, it would get numb, or it would start to tingle and then switch to being numb. The first couple times it happened, I didn't think much of it, because it kind of just went away. But it kept happening, more and more. I told my mom about it. She said it's probably nothing, but she would take me to a doctor to get it checked out. I went to the doctor, and they asked me a bunch of questions. Am I drinking enough water? Do I exercise daily? Do I get enough to eat? I answered all the questions the best I could. They also decided that they wanted to do some blood work. They got all the poking and prodding done, then sent me home. A couple days later, we were sitting at the dinner table, and Mom got a phone call. We usually have a no phones at the dinner table rule, but my mom looked at her phone and answered it anyway. It was the doctor's office. Mom was very quiet and said, uh-huh, yeah, okay, a bunch of times. She seemed a little off. She got off the phone and left the table without saying anything. She was gone for about 10 minutes, and when she came back, her eyes were red and red. It was weird and scary. I asked if she was okay. She smiled a weak smile, touched my perfect hair, and said, it's gonna be all right. The next day, I got up and started getting ready for school. Brushed my teeth not quite long enough and fixed my hair entirely too long. Mom and I got in the car and she started driving, but not to school. We ended up back at the hospital. I asked my mom what we were doing there, and she told me they wanted to do more tests. I told her I'd be fine, that I could handle a little tingling and numbness here and there, but she didn't say anything. We got into a room and waited forever for the doctor to come in. He looked unhappy. He started explaining some things to my mom really quietly. It was a small room, but I had trouble hearing what he was saying anyway. I caught a couple words here and there. Procedure, treatment, chemotherapy. Wait. Hold on. Chemotherapy? Isn't that what people get when they have cancer? I have cancer? No, that can't be right. I'm young. Old people get cancer. People who smoke get cancer. I've never even been around a cigarette. Mom and the doctor stopped talking and looked at me. I hate when adults do that. Look at me and don't say anything. I think they knew that I had heard them. They tried to comfort me and explain all the information to me, but I was confused. This wasn't real. Mom ran her finger through my hair with tears in her eyes and said, we'll make it through this, baby. I started the chemo treatments immediately. They made me feel horrible. My stomach felt twisty all the time. I threw up a lot. I couldn't eat much. One day, when I was feeling more disgusting than usual, Mom suggested that I try and take a shower to feel better. I got in and just stood there, letting the hot water pour all over me. And then I saw it. A clump of hair by the drain. Gross. Mom forgot to clean it out after a shower. I wasn't going to touch it, so I just left it in there. Mom can deal with her own hair. I started to wash up and grabbed my shampoo to get my hair washed. I like to get a nice, thick lather, so I poured a little extra shampoo on my hands. My head was feeling tingly, so I massaged my scalp with my shampoo. It felt so nice. I moved my hands to the back of my head, but I felt skin where my hair should be. This was weird. I've never felt that before. I rinsed the rest of the shampoo out of my hair. I looked at the drain again, and there was more hair there. That's when I realized it wasn't Mom's hair. It was mine. My fingers went back to the bald spot. Then I found another one, this time on the side. I smoothed my hair down, trying to cover up the patches, and another clump of hair came right off, right there in my hand. I screamed, and Mom came running to the door. I covered up the towel and opened the door to let her in. I showed her the hair in my hand, the hair on the drain of the shower, and she softly nodded. Didn't say anything at all. Just nodded as she hugged me and played with what was left of my hair. Silently, she opened up the drawer of the sink cabinet and pulled out the clippers that we used to cut my dog's hair. I looked up at her and just said, Mama. She plugged the clippers in, turned them on, and slowly, painfully, agonizingly, she started to shave my head. I watched in the mirror as my hair fell off in patches. I know it only took about 5 minutes, but it felt like days. Mom put away the clippers, and we just stood there, both looking in the mirror, crying, sobbing. I remember going to bed that night, embarrassed, ashamed, lost. That was 3 years ago. The treatments went on and on. There were days that were a lot harder than others. Days I didn't think I was going to make it. Days I just wanted to quit the treatments and let the cancer win. But I kept going. During one of my routine hospital visits I'd gotten so used to, the doctor came in with a glow in his eyes. The most recent round of blood work, he said, showed signs that the cancer was gone. I had done it. I had beaten cancer. I was healed. My mom thanked the doctor, thanked science, and praised God. So that's the story of healing. When I thought that everything was over for me and I was ready to say goodbye, God had other plans. He gave my life back. Oh! He gave my hair back, too.
According to my acting teacher, a monologue is supposed to be 60, 90 seconds, come from a full-length play, and have a structured story with context that the audience understands. Personally, that seems useless to me. Most of the monologues I've used for my auditions in the past have been from movies and TV shows, and the directors have eaten them up every single time. I don't get why Mrs. Smith was so against me doing Elle Woods' speech in Legally Blonde. Like, it was made into a musical. Oh, overused? Doesn't count? Whatever. I used to be the prize pearl of my town, the lead in every musical, the kid that everyone said, "You'll totally make it to Broadway someday." And I'd say, wait, what was that? Plays? Yeah, never really felt interested in them. Besides, everyone wants to see a musical. The plays are always so boring and dumb, and they never really help me out with anything. Nobody ever said, "Wow, Alex, you would do so good in the Mousetrap," or "I can't believe you haven't thought about being in our town." The plays are boring, you know? I think musicals are way better. You're like the only one I can talk to about this. I feel like you're the only one in this school who understands my true talent. Like, you want to get lunch or something? Hey, where are you going? I didn't say anything bad, did I?
I hurt. I ache. The knot in my stomach keeps turning. You are gone. Grief is lurking. It's starting to bubble. Grief wants to simmer. No! Grief is not welcome here. I can't face grief. I'm afraid to feel. I'm afraid to slow down. I'm afraid to think about you being gone. This nagging grief steadily knocks on the door of my heart. It won't stop until it's heard. No! I refuse to open the door. I won't let grief in. I must keep going, must keep grief out. I can't stop. I will not give in. Keep working, keep doing, keep pushing. One foot in front of the other. Faster and faster. Stay busy, stay focused, stay motivated. Don't feel, stay hard. Don't think, just move, go, go, go. I bury grief in busy. But here comes why. The forever question of why, the bitter, resentful why. My blood boils with why, because it is a question that will never be answered. It will never be understood, and it never stops asking and asking and asking. You are gone, and there is no logic. There is no reason. If there is a reason beyond my understanding, I hate it, don't want it. Go away! I shove away the question, why? It makes no sense. It has no heart. Get out! I can't resist anymore. It's too hard, it's too heavy. I can't. Enter grief. Enter pain. Sorrow. Sinking, sobbing. Tears fall. I'm withering away, crumbling. I'm raw. Grief. I sit with grief. It washes over me. I miss you. Try to breathe, shallow, tight, stuck. 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 You are gone. I hurt everywhere. But I am here. I am alive. I am breathing. I am loosening my jaw. I'm releasing my clench. I breathe. Slower. Deeper. Hug in, hug in, hug in. Soften. Try to accept my grief. In, out. Remember your hug. In, out. The sound of your laugh. In, out the calm of your gaze. In, out the comfort of your touch. In, out, I cherish you. In, out, I am thankful for you. You are with me as the sun warms my face. You are with me as breeze cools my skin. You are with me as the grass tickles my feet. You are with me as the sky pulls my gaze upward. Inside my heart, I always love you. You will always be there. It gives me space. Space to breathe. Space to step forward. Space to hold my grief. Space to slowly heal.
We hear a lot about healing. Healing as a country, healing as a nation, mending fractured relationships, having a difference of opinion and respecting that, building bridges instead of dividing houses, loving our neighbor, though we don't agree, especially then. I used to believe healing came after the storm, after the chaos settled, after the sirens stopped wailing, when the world slowed down enough to breathe. Only then could could you begin to piece yourself back together and make sense of the wreckage. But healing doesn't wait for peace. It shows up in the middle of the noise, in the center of fear. Because the world is a scary place. It just is. And sometimes there's no sense to be made of any of it. Not really. The headlines hit like gut punches. Bombs are dropped. Children are gunned down. People are vanishing. Promises are broken. The ground shifts beneath us, a constant reminder there's no such thing as safe. Not really. But healing isn't about safety. It's about kindness to ourselves, to others. It's about softness and strength. It's using our power for those who have none. It's offering shelter while standing in the rain. It's walking through fire and still embracing the wind. Healing isn't pretending the world isn't terrifying. It's not tuning out the pandemonium. It's finding the courage to live in the chaos. To not just run from hate, but toward love. To embrace our differences, not fear them. Healing is often found in the simplest things. The way sunlight spills across the floor and reminds you warmth still exists. The way your favorite song finds you when you didn't even know you needed it. The way one kind word can change the trajectory of your entire day. Healing is messy. It's crying in the shower, then laughing 5 minutes later because a cat on TikTok did something ridiculous. It's saying, I'm okay, when you're not. And learning how to say, I'm not okay, out loud, without shame. It's showing up when everything is falling apart, especially then. Healing is defiant. It's telling the world, you don't get to take my joy. It's speaking your truth when no one seems to be listening. It's dancing in the kitchen, turning down the news and turning up the music. It's holding someone's hand, not to steady yourself, but to steady them. Because when you carry someone else, your own burden feels lighter. We find healing in connection, in community, in the quiet moment when someone sees us, really sees us. Healing begins when we stop trying to be invincible, when we stop trying to be everything to everyone, when we start being real with ourselves, especially ourselves. And yet, here we are, still breathing, still dreaming, still trying, still reaching for something soft in a world that's sharp like a prism filled with fractured memories and scattered moments. We're all one tragedy away from shattering. It's choosing to live when it feels like we're dying. And that choice, that one quiet, radical choice, isn't just how we survive. It's how we heal. Truly heal.
You know, people like to talk about healing as if it's this clean, tidy process. Like you get sick, you take the medicine, and then done. You're better. Back to normal. The old you. But that's not what healing really is. Not when it comes to the things that actually break us. The truth is, healing isn't about erasing what happened. You can't scrub it away like chalk on a blackboard. What happened, happened, and it shaped you, twisted you, scarred you. Healing isn't pretending you're untouched. It's learning how to stand again with the weight of that scar still on you. See, we think healing is about getting over it, as if there's some magical finish line where you wake up one day and you don't feel the sting anymore. But if we're honest, some things never stop stinging. What changes is you. Healing is recovering enough strength, enough courage, enough breath to turn and face the very thing that broke you. To look it in the eye and say, I'm still here. It's a bone that mends. You don't erase the break. The crack is written into you forever. But the body learns. It grows stronger around that fracture. The mark becomes part of you. That's what healing is. Not pretending the break never happened, but carrying it without letting it carry you. And it's hard. God, it's hard. Because facing it means you have to revisit the darkness you ran from. It means walking back into the fire that burned you, and who wants to do that? But healing demands it. Because only when you face the thing, only when you stop running, do you learn that the fire can't consume you twice. Healing is not a straight line, it's a circle. Some days you'll feel whole, other days you'll feel ripped open all over again. And both of those days count. Both of those days are healing, because healing isn't an ending. It's a practice. A way of carrying yourself forward, scar and all. So no, I'm not over it. And I don't think I ever will be. But I've stopped waiting for that finish line. I've stopped trying to bury what happened as if silence could make it disappear. Instead, I've learned to sit with it, to face it, to walk with it. Because healing is not about forgetting the wound. It's about recovering the strength to live with it. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough.
Hi. I am your inner child. Are you really here? Will you sit with me? This is where I live. In your body. Cool, huh? I don't mind it here, but sometimes it can feel really kind of scary. There are parts in here that make me feel really safe, and there are parts that really make me sad. I like it when you pay attention to me. I can tell when you are, because I don't need this blanket anymore. Feels like a warm hug in here when you do. I know your therapist mentions me a lot. I really like her. But sometimes you don't believe her that I'm really here. And that's when I feel really scared. When you forget about me. I don't feel protected. I have to get your attention in ways I don't like to. I always... like... when this guy, he calls himself the critic... He's a big and scary man, and he yells at me. He tells me that I am no good and that I need to try harder. I really don't like that guy. I go and hide under my blanket, and I wonder why you aren't stopping him from talking to me like that. I feel ashamed when he is here. Then there's the dressed up lady who thinks she's perfect. She's always rushing me. Do this, do that. We can't let them know that you are a child. We can't let them know you have feelings. If I start to cry, she tells me, buck up. And to think about other people who have it worse. She makes me carry all the heavy things. She says we can't trust other people to hold any of it. I feel so tired when I'm with her. Then there's this guy over there. You can't see him because he doesn't let himself be seen. He scares me the most because I can never tell where he is at. He whispers in my ear that he is here and will never leave me, but then disappears. I can't really see him. I feel so confused when that happens. I wonder where you are when this is happening, and why won't you tell them to leave, or why won't you protect me? But I have found ways to get your attention. Sometimes I push into your body. You feel it as stomach pain and migraines. You feel it as anxiety and depression. I am sorry. I don't mean to hurt you, but I'm hurting and scared. Sometimes I have to scream really loud. You don't hear me, but I know you feel me. I know it's uncomfortable, but it's just that I need you. I can tell when you've heard me, when I've been loud enough, because you finally stop and you come in here. Oh, you are so beautiful when you're here. I love you so much. I love when you are here because you set boundaries with the other three. You tell the disappearing man to show himself. You tell the perfect lady that I am enough. And you tell the inner critic that I am a miracle, just as I am. I love you so much. When you're here with me, I feel so safe. I don't need that dirty, heavy blanket. I get to dance and sing. You feel it too. When I get to be here, I am your creativity. I don't have to hurt you to hear me. I don't have to get so loud when you're here holding me. We get to rest together, play together. I am your song. I am your canvas. I'm the color on the brush. Life is so good when we are together. Don't forget about me, okay? Because I will always be here, waiting to play with you. Do you see me? Do you feel me? Come on, close your eyes. Do you feel me? The pull to create, feel to be alive. The pull to say yes! That is me too. Hi. I am your inner child. Will you sit with me?
Oh, hey. Wow. Well, yeah, come on in. I'm glad to see you. I'd get up, but, well, yeah, you know. Three of you. There's only one chair here. Maybe I can have them bring in... Oh, you two aren't staying. Okay. You'll be right outside the door. Great. Great. We'll be fine. Won't we? Okay, well, so how are you doing? Max, is it? Okay, Max, well, I guess you're doing just about as well as can be expected under the circumstances, huh? You're probably wondering how I'm doing. Hey, you know, I'm alive. Yep, I'm alive. You are a big guy, Max, aren't you? What's that? They called you ape in school? Well, kids can be kind of mean. You can't help that you're, well, big. Nobody ever called me ape. I'm kind of a small guy. Can't help that either. So, I guess there was sort of a misunderstanding, Max, and I just wanted to clear things up. You know, my brother died a couple of months ago. Well, I appreciate your saying that, Max. He was a great guy. Anyway, that kind of left me in charge of taking care of his stuff. You know, I found out he had this storage unit, one of those metal buildings you can rent. Yeah, he rented one, and it was just crammed with whatever, and so I had to clean it out, and it was just too much for me to handle on my own, and I needed help. So I thought of this program or something that our church has. Helping Hands, they call it. If people need help, people like me, they connect them with people who... I don't know, people who don't exactly have a regular job or something. People who, could use a couple bucks. And I thought, well, this is perfect. And that's where you came in, Max. And, well, then I'm telling my friend Joe, I have coffee with Joe sometimes on Tuesdays. Yeah, he's a great guy. Anyway, I mentioned to him that I was going to hire somebody to help me clean, and that was you, Max. But I didn't mention it was you because I didn't even know you. You were just someone to help me clean out this storage unit, and Joe says, well, you don't need to hire anybody. I got a couple of grandsons that would be more than happy to help you out. And so, Joe, he won't take no for an answer. So I call Helping Hands and tell them I don't need you. I mean, nothing personal. I didn't even know you or anything, Max. Or anything about you. I guess you took it wrong. I guess you thought that I didn't want you. I mean, you specifically. I didn't even know you, and you got so upset. I can understand that, Max. Maybe you've been rejected a lot. I don't know. And then you find out where my office is, and you come over and storm in, and you yell a lot of things. Pretty bad things. And you throw some furniture around, and you throw a chair out the window, and then you throw me out the window. I was just lucky. We were on the second floor. It was lucky I landed in some bushes. It was lucky I landed pretty good. I mean, I really do feel lucky. I blacked out when I landed, and the next thing I know, here I am. Full body cast, traction, but alive. Yep. It's gonna take some time to heal, but then there's therapy, and who knows how I'll come out of that, but I'm alive, and I want you to know, Max, I should have done a better job explaining why I didn't need your help. It wasn't you or anything you did or how you looked or what your situation was. I imagine you're a good guy who's had some rough times. A lot of rough times. And you don't usually go around throwing folks out windows. Oh, you're sorry. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I want you to get the help. When I get out of here, I'm gonna, if I'm in shape, I'm to get around. We can get together, and maybe I'll have a job you can help me with. Thanks for coming to see me, and you get better, and I'll get better, and we'll call for the guards, and maybe they can unchain you from the chair, and you can be on your merry way. And you take care, Max.